All right. Well,
Oh,
everybody,
hey, everybody.
we are a duo today. We're a duo.
That's
Susan
right.
is,
No,
where is she? I don't know. Where is she?
okay, guys, let me take you through this. Okay, Susan is on the
Can't do.
Big Easy cruise, and it is all I know everybody performing on that ship because I spent so much time in New Orleans, and they're all on the ship. And Johnny Sansel, I mean, Russ is working.
John Grow,
Yeah,
probably.
grow and Russ is drumming for about four or five of those bands,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and and the other thing is that Susan, we've been doing the Flower Power now for a bunch of years, and Susan is from New Orleans, and a few years ago she goes on it because Russ is her husband, and so she gets to be the extra person, in the
Yeah.
veranda and the whole thing. We got to ask her if she got a balcony being that person, or I don't know if Russ gets a balcony. I would think, I don't know. But
Well,
anyway, check this out.
go ahead.
Go. Oh, so here's what happens. So all these people, they're all New Orleans cats. They all fly to Fort Lauderdale, okay? And they get on the ship just like normal. But then that ship goes to New Orleans and stays in New Orleans for 2 days. I mean, Susan's the ferry across the river, and that's her house. And so they're going to be there for 2 days. Then they travel to Cozumel, okay, and they do their thing. And there's a lot of days at sea, and then they head back to Fort Lauderdale. But I just find it so funny. And but Luann made a point because I was going, man, they all live in New Orleans, but the people that are cruising, they're just normal folks from Idaho and from Minnesota, and so they do want to go to New Orleans. So I think
Yeah,
it's
I that is the strangest routing, but I get the point about, well, we're just going to Fort Lauderdale to pick up all the people who want to go see New Orleans,
right.
and we're going
But
to
they got to
sing
be on
in,
board and
right,
everything.
and we're going to
Yeah,
sing
yeah.
the music of the land all the way in, right? I can see that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. Well, look,
So,
but here's what I do know though, the difference between this one and that. On this Big Easy cruise, Susan has three shows herself.
oh,
So,
okay.
and you guys, listen, the deal with Susan is, she's the singer-songwriter member of the group who still does her singer-songwriter. You're not going to hear her Sir with Love. Well, you might hear her Sir with Love, but you know what I'm saying.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
maybe
yeah.
as an encore if it's the fifth encore of the night. But
Right.
you're going to get her career. She's had solo albums, solo projects. She's got her own band, her own hot
Yeah.
musicians from New Orleans, right?
A million songs written about New Orleans and all this kind of stuff. So, she sits there pretty good, actually.
Yeah,
Um,
it's pretty cool. So we'll
yeah.
get a report back on that for sure.
Yes, I want to hear about yeah, just I want to hear what the deal was there. That's excellent. Excellent.
And
Well, so
is Russ her drummer? No, I'm sure he is. I'm sure because
I'm sure,
well,
yeah.
with Susan, sometimes she just stands up there and boom, that's it, man. She gives
Right,
it to you
right.
right
Yeah, I don't,
there.
we'll have to ask her about all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But it was
let's
funny because we did hear from Susan today, and I was thinking, God, you're on the cruise. And I thought, oh, they bought the internet package. But she was literally just got off the ship. It's right by Bourbon Street, and she just went and she could have gone to her house 2 days. She could, but she's singing today, and I don't know where it all lines out for her, but it's a crazy deal, crazy deal. A lot of
I
moving
know.
around to get back to New Orleans, I'll tell you.
It's like you pull into the New Orleans port from Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Usually on these cruises we go on to, you go, oh, what's the port? St. Thomas. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I don't see Susan and Russ the night before they pull into port in New Orleans thinking, oh my God, we got to get off the boat tomorrow, get off the ship and check out New Orleans. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like as
That is
tourists,
funny.
it'd be curious to see what gift shop they dump them into. They probably know everything there,
Oh my God. Yeah.
the,
It's crazy.
the
Crazy, crazy.
so that's pretty cool. So
Yep.
one of the things we got to do. Oh, Paul's going to bring us up to date on his atrial
Oh,
fibrillation, and he's
yeah.
our medical
Yeah.
guy. He's our guy.
Yep. So, I got this machine I showed you guys, the cardia machine, where I put my thumbs on and it lets me know about AFib. And,
Yeah, that
and
was wild.
Yeah, before the appointment today, I wanted to go in knowing more about my AFib than they did. Okay. So I've been doing this thing and saving each read. And, and now, I mean, I am 90% in AFib a day. I mean, I'm just in it
Oh,
you
wow.
know? Yeah. And, I can go and like, I can get excited a little bit and go, oh, I got to go get that. And I'll hustle to where I'm going and it might be on the floor. And I pick it up and I get back. Man, I'm out of breath.
Oh, is that
Just,
the symptom that you feel to know it? Yeah.
yes, that is what I feel. And the shortness of breath, and now I know I had it. We were out, we've already done shows with me having it. So, just the one show where we
That's
went really
true.
long.
Yeah.
I remember hair. I mean, I was just squeaking. At the end, I had nothing left. And I'm
I think
hanging
that
on
was
to the mic and the
Tomball.
man, and Susan's going, "Are you in it?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm in it. I mean, my legs were numb. It's a hoot. It's a hoot."
Well, your
And
legs are numb. You can barely get hair out, but your brain's going, it's the last song. It's the last
yeah,
song. It's the last.
absolutely. Absolutely. And so it really
Bummer.
hasn't interfered out there yet. So what's going to happen? So I went to the electrophysiologist, and
Wow.
they consider
Subspecialty.
themselves the electrician of the heart. You
Okay.
know, the guys that do the open heart surgery and all this other stuff, they're the carpenters of the heart world. Okay. So I went and saw the electrophysiologist today because I've already gone through the other guys, and that's the shop, that didn't work.
Yeah.
And then all these meds they've had me on didn't work. They're supposed to make it work. So now I'm going to get a thing called the catheter ablation, and it's super. And the guy told me, the doctor, he goes, look at, I can see you're very busy. I go, I'm very busy and I'm a moving forward kind of guy. And he
Yeah.
goes, well, then listen, we're not going to mess around with anything else because the shock didn't work. The
They could have tried it
fleckenite,
again. They could have tried
and
it
they
again.
could have, but yeah. And so we're going to get this thing called the catheter ablation. And what they do is they go up through your groin and they go through this particular, I think it's a ventricle, and they go through these tubes and they get into the heart, into a specific chamber in there. And then out of this tube comes all of these things. They look like, that light that has, those funny things at the top of it. But these come out and they start beating the whole channel. Like they start beating the whole part of the heart there, and what they're doing is they're making the electricity freak out, and now it needs to get back into time. And they used to do it with cold, and then they did it with heat, like cauterizing this and
Yeah.
that. And now they just go up and they rough up the surface of this area of the heart inside, literally. And that is, and this guy says, I got a great 90% chance, 10 that this won't work, and that your heart just goes back into rhythm due to something that they do like this. It's a whole electrical kind of thing.
Are you
But he's
awake? Are you
no,
awake during it?
no, I'm under general anesthesia because
Okay.
they got to put a tube down my throat. Uh,
Oh,
and I think a camera is on that because
okay.
the esophagus, the back of the heart is right up against the esophagus. So if you're in the esophagus, you can see the back side of the heart. And so this
Yeah.
camera goes out and they start filming all this stuff. I'm out. This is all happening while I'm out. And
Wow.
and so the tube goes in when I'm out. So and then when I come awake, then the tube is out. So that, I just don't want it to rough up my voice. I've heard that can happen to some people, but
Yeah.
it's not going to happen to me. I'm sure of that. And so
Are they going to film any of it and show you? I bet they
I got to write
could,
that
but
down. Yeah, I think
uh,
they are because I was talking to Shane, who had this, and he goes,
yeah.
yeah, he was able to see the movie of it.
Yeah,
You're
right.
out. You're not going to be seeing it while you're
Because I heard
getting
that
it done.
they find the spots, the trouble spots, and
Yeah.
then they okay, they used to freeze it, they used to use heat, and now they're going to do this to it. But
Yeah.
eventually they get it scarred or something so that the
Yes.
misfirings and the it controls where it's supposed to go.
Yes.
It's wild.
Exactly what he
That is
said. Just
wild.
that.
Yeah.
And then, so, and I was telling him all the things I do and how important it is to get this done and move forward. And you know how it is with these appointments, it's months down the road after you have this particular, you're wondering what the
Yeah,
hell? I guess
it's
it's not,
crazy. Yeah.
it is nuts. And so, but he looked right at me. He goes, I can see that you're a busy guy. I said, I'm a busy guy and I'm moving forward.
I
And so
love
he
that.
said, all right. Then, and usually they say, well, the hospital appointment people will get a hold of you. He goes, well, look, I'm going to take you right down there right now, and we're going to make the appointment. Okay. And so
Okay.
he walked us down to Heather, and he goes, Heather, book him right now. And she went, whoa, okay. Like
Okay,
something
cool.
special. And so February 25th. So we're going to go out and do Providence, the Odium, the cutting room.
Right.
So we're going
Suffolk.
to do that. And then when we come back, that's like the 23rd or
You're
something.
home the 23rd.
Yeah, and so the 25th, I'll go in for this thing,
Okay.
and then it doesn't take this is it's a non-invasive surgery. So they're
Yeah.
gonna just pull out. I gotta be careful for a day that I don't undo the plugs of the
Okay.
holes that they make. And so then what do we have? Then we have
March 6th,
5 days
Havre de
later.
Grace. Yeah, Havre de
Yes,
Grace.
we have Havre de
March
Grace
6th.
coming. Okay. And so, but I'll be ready for that. And
Yeah.
so I'm not going to be the new me at the Odium in the cutting room, but I'll be me. But in the,
Havre de Grace, you'll be the brand new Paul Cowsill.
yeah, that
Okay,
has no
everybody, we'll talk
AFib.
about Havre de Grace more later. And I
Yeah.
finally, I have to, all right. So now after that, is that sort of the end through this? Now you're done till the summer and you're free of medical issues.
Oh, oh, here he is.
Oh, did we freeze? Oh,
You
okay.
froze.
So is this it though? After this now, you're just good for the spring and summer and
Oh, once this happens, he said the only falter with this is that years down the road, I'm 74. Let's talk about years down the road. He said that it could come back,
yeah,
and they would just go in and rough it up again and kick me back in. So
holy
I'm going to be
schmoly.
good. Come Harvey Grass, then I'm going to be rocking, and then I'm ready for the summer anyway, because that is going to be the least work.
All right.
You know what I
That's cool.
mean?
Yeah, you'll have a good rest there too. All right. Well, that
Yes.
sounds good. And ladies and
So
gentlemen, that is a medical hour with Paul Galson. He is
that's
at
you
the
bet, man.
electro, no, what are you?
Physiologist, the
Physiology
electrophysiologist, the
level, I
electrician of
guess.
the heart.
Elect,
Yep. And I do want to let everybody know that. So we're going to go to Harvard de Grasse. And then when we come back from that, I get a PSA because I'm still dealing with the cancer thing.
all
So I have to
right.
get another PSA and then get all freaked out when it comes onto my phone. Hey, your test result is in.
All
And
right.
I
Here
need
we
to see
go.
that less than symbol 0.105. Okay. That's
Here
what
we
I
go
need.
again.
Yeah, yeah.
All
And so
right.
every 6 months that happens. And if it's anything other than the less than zero, then we'll be talking about a whole new regime.
All right.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Holy
crazy.
mackerel. I start sneezing at night just because junk is in the air in California, but
Yeah.
you have real adventures. Now I haven't. I've let Paul mispronounce the city Havre de Grace is how it's said. Now listen, I'm going to teach Paul how to say Havre de Grace and not Havre de Grace and Havre.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Harvard
ready?
de Grace.
Here's how I find it. I'm going to Pam Burns you. Here's how I.
Okay.
No, actually, I came up with this. Here's how
Okay.
you do it. You go Italian. Like, have it the grace to do it right. Have it the grace, man. What's the matter
Oh,
with
have the
you?
grace.
Have it the
Have the grace.
grace. Have it the
Okay.
grace to do it, to be nice, to be
Have
kind.
the
What's the
grace. Okay.
matter with you? Have it the grace. All right, so we'll
Okay.
get to that. And man, I'll never forget it again. And
No.
it's we played it. We're gonna play it again, and I was still having trouble with it, but no more. Anyway, all right. So one of the things we got to do is we got to go through our gigs, people, because from a couple of people who go, you don't mention the gigs. Some are missing from our websites, and we're guilty. I mean, we come off stage and we say to ourselves, why do we not mention that we have a podcast? Why do we not mention that we have a radio show? We
Why
don't.
did I not introduce the band?
Why don't we? Paul's begun to introduce the band. Talk about the most egregious thing to forget. And they're
Yeah.
back there, and so we do. We're guilty. we're going to get better. We got to do the gigs though, and you know, some of it, like people would say, "Oh, why do you have to keep going over your gigs?" Well, because it's a show, okay, and not everybody is tuned in last week. That's tuned in this week.
That's right. And when we get our contracts now, you guys, this is how popular perhaps we can think the podcast is getting, because now the buyers, the people bringing the shows to them, they are watching our podcast, you guys, because they know when we're not mentioning it on the podcast.
Yeah,
And
which is obvious, and like
well,
they
right,
right if they
right.
bring it up to us, we go, "Oh yeah, oh right, we're supposed to." Oh right,
Right,
right.
because you know, guys, these people, the concerts we're doing, they're trying to sell tickets. And if we're here in this forum and we don't mention it, well, we're not doing our our just due,
That's
our
right.
professionalism. We need to announce it, and you guys just need to hear it over and over again because we just need to do it because it's the right thing to do.
So we're going to go through them all. And believe it or not, there's even one tonight that we're going to mention that we've never mentioned, and we should have. It's the funniest thing. We're so bad, but we're going to get better. We're going to be good. We think actually, uh, you know, we're paying attention to this now, and we're thinking possibly Susan distracts us, you know, mostly once the show starts and we forget to do things like that. But she's not here, so we're going to pay attention to business and do a good job for you. And we had to blame somebody. But anyway, so the next gig we have is January 30th. It is our residency at the Golden Nugget Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. We love it. They seem to love us. We love that they love us. Um, you know,
They gave us the term your residency here at the Golden Nugget. Charlene has always, when she calls me, she goes, "Hey, this is Charlene from the Golden Nugget, where you have your residency."
I love that because
I do too.
we love going back every year, and it's always a fun show. And you guys, it's a good room. You should check it out and come there. It's a nice rectangle. It's small enough where we can have an intimate conversation with you. We can have a Q&A. We can, I
Yes.
don't know, the show flexes there where it can't
And the
other places.
sound is incredible in this room
Yeah,
also,
it's
which is
all
great.
it's all good, and I know they've publicized it in the hotel already. It's on the video board. So it's kind of fun to go to Vegas. And it's like when we played the Cutting Room in New York. You're in New York City on a Saturday night. How do you not love that, right? You're in Las
Right.
Vegas at the
Yeah.
Golden Nugget Hotel. How do you not love that? You
And
know?
when you're driving in the elevator, there you are. You see they run this,
Yeah, I love
constant
that.
loop of what's playing, and we're always there when we're there.
Yep,
It's
it's
crazy.
pretty cool. And
Yeah.
so that's January 3rd. Then we get into February. Now, February, our big weekend in February is February 20, 21, and 22. The 20th, we're at the Odeum in East Greenwich, Rhode Island. And then then we're going to drive to New York City itself. And we're going to play at the Cutting Room. It's been I think we've missed a year, maybe two. I don't know.
Maybe two.
Maybe two, huh?
Maybe
For
two. Yeah.
this reason or that, not being able to put it together. But
Yep.
we're going there. Thank you, Steve. And we'll be glad to see everybody at the Cutting Room again. And by the way, just so you know, our brother John and Vicky are at the Cutting Room, I think this month or maybe, I think in January, maybe. So you can look for them there too. So you get a
Yeah.
whole bunch of Cowsills going, you know.
Yeah. I think they were there January 17th, unfortunately.
Oh, they were just there then.
I
Okay,
think
good.
so.
All
But
right,
don't
good.
believe me, guys out there. Go double check me. And, if you can make it there, you should, because they're
Yeah,
a
you
hoot.
can check their websites and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then the Cutting Room, and then we have our trio show at the Suffolk Theater out on Long Island, and that's just
Yes.
me, Paul, and Susan doing that trio thing we do now.
Yeah.
But just so you know, the Odeum and the Cutting Room are full band nights. Okay,
Right.
and
Correct.
just look us up there, man, on that. And then we have Ava de Grace. You know, I love saying it correct for the first time at the introduction of the segment. We're going to be in
Habit
Havre. We're going to be in Havre de Grace, Maryland.
of grace. Habit of grace.
We call it Phelpland because Flash Phelps, our good friend, is there. So we hope he shows up this year. In
Yeah, you
fact,
got to come.
Pam mentioned Flash. She can come after you to get you to come on over for the weekend. He popped in on the Friday night thing. It's a beautiful weekend, you guys. It's a
Yeah.
Friday night kind of social. You
Yeah. And
learn a
what is
little
the
about
Bob?
truth. You learn about True North Project and stuff, and it's March
Right.
the 6th, 7th, 8th, ninth, that whole weekend, we're in there. Okay. And we
Yeah.
do the Friday night thing. Then Saturday night is our concert. And last year we had the full band. This year we brought in the trio show for the concert. And then Sunday we're having our little hour pub kind of show. And this is where you can see a little bit of what I used to do for a living, a little bit of what Susan used to do for a living. Then we'll have me and Paul do a little bit of what we used to do. And then we'll have me, Paul, and Susan end it. And that's going to be a fun hour on Sunday. And then a Monday morning breakfast. And then you'll see us in and out the weekend. It's a fun, laid back thing. But I got to read to you what it says on our website about this. Okay, you ready? The
Yeah.
Cowsills weekend, True North Project, and Vanderveer Inn. The Vanderveer Inn's where we're staying. Now, if you don't have a room there, too bad. But if you don't, wait till this event's over. And sometime during the year, go book a room there at the inn, and you are going to love this place. So the admission, there's a big range. You can from 20 to whatever you want to pay. And you join the True North Project. Now, that's our buyer, our promoter per
Yep.
people with Pam
Yep.
Burns and all that. And the
Yep.
Vanderveer Inn and the Cowsills for a great weekend. Choose your adventure. Attend the main events March 6th through 8th. Check this out, which include dinner. That's a Friday night thing. Concert, that's Saturday night thing. Afternoon of the Sunday, individually, or elevate your experience with a comprehensive weekend package. So there's big packages, which unlocks premium access to meal-based community gatherings, engaging salon-style discussions, and exclusive humanities activities, including guided historical tours of charming Havre de Grace, Maryland, and a podcast event. Can you believe all that? I mean, that's like, and us.
It's an experience.
It's an experience, I tell you. It's an
Yes.
experience. So
Yeah.
we're good. Thank you, Pam Burns and True North Project for that. And after that,
Then we're home on the 10th.
yeah, we're home on the 10th. And if Paul
Okay.
needs any further medical procedure, we'll squeeze him in right there.
Right on.
Right on. But March 26th, okay,
Yep.
is when we head out again on the 25th. We have a trio show. Now, this isn't just the trio, me, Paul, and Susan. It's me, Paul, and Susan. We've done shows with Glenn Raby before where there's a band and other groups on, kind of a mini Happy Together show, guys, where we do about a half
Yeah.
hour. I think it's, so
Yeah.
we got that on March 26th in Fort Myers, Florida, 2 days before the Flower Power Cruise at the Barbara B. Mann Performing Arts Hall. We've played there before many times. All of us have,
Yep.
even the
Yep.
Happy Together show, I think. So we'll
Hmm.
do that March 26th there. And then on the 27th, we'll head to Fort Lauderdale, check into the cruise hotel. The 28th, set out on the cruise, come back.
Dump the car at the airport. Dump the car
Car
at the
here. We're going
airport
to pick up the car.
in
Yeah,
Fort
hey,
Myers.
let's talk about that. Yeah, we pick up the car in Fort Myers, and there's an offset on that to help us. But we pick up the car, we'll dump it at the airport in Fort Lauderdale, and we'll
Hmm.
time it so that it's time so that the cruise people, they're picking everyone up that day anyway,
Yeah.
and we'll just jump in and say
Absolutely.
we'll go to baggage. We're here. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's happened there. April 4th, April 5th, we all come back. April 5th, we probably have Mark Foreman's memorial in Los Angeles. We'll see what time and when that is, if that can be done. And then now we're in
April
April.
11th.
April 11th. Paul, can you fill us in? Any more
Yes.
info?
So it's taken 21 years to get the Cowsills up here to my neck of the woods in Central Oregon. And
Yeah.
so we're going to be doing and it'll be it's a trio show, and it's going to be on April 11th at the Madras Performing Arts Center
Okay.
in Madras, Oregon. And it's going to be a great night, and everybody's pretty excited around here. What I'm doing now is I'm just getting these people to sell tickets, sell tickets, sell tickets, and so they're really wanting to sell this place out. It's a
Oh my
600
gosh.
seater, yeah,
Ooh,
600 seater.
600.
Yep, but it's a big fundraiser. The Historical Society up
That's
here is
good.
very important.
All right.
I mean, it's not like for autism or anything. It's not that heavy, but it's still important. And I'm way into historical societies and I just love it all. And so I'm happy to be doing this for them. And yeah, and Bob and Susan get to come up to the farm. I think that it's been quite a few years since they've been here. It could be 18 or
I
something
do
like.
believe Paul is providing housing and
Yes.
to the band, and that's good to know. and
Yep.
that'll be great. That's April 11th is the show
Yes.
date. Okay, everyone.
Yep.
And there'll be a meet and greet at Paul's house 2 hours before the show. No,
Well, actually, they're trying to get something going quite like that, but no, we're going to do a meet and greet though. In the
absolutely.
Yeah, all set up, and we'll just do what we do with the meet and greet and let these folks. They go, well, do we need to do anything for the meet and greet? I go, you need a table and three chairs and somebody funneling these people down into us in the proper way that people don't rush us
In
and
one
catching us
direction.
left and right because that just doesn't work and people get a little irritated.
I like
So
that.
we have it down where people get in a line and we talk with everybody and we take a quick picture and then we move them on and that's how we do it. And everybody gets a shot. And we always say we will stay there until the line is done.
And we
And
do that.
we
And
do
so
that.
and by the way,
That's right.
there we will have other than the shows where there are multiple groups. Sometimes you don't do the meet and greet. Uh,
Yeah.
for because obvious reasons. But
Yeah.
anytime you come to see our show, we're going to do a meet and greet. We're going to have a meet and greet. We got a lot of albums out. We got a lot of
Well,
CDs out.
well, we do and we do. But the other thing about that is that we love talking to you guys. I know anybody who's gone to a
Really,
meet and greet with us, you see our happiness. You see how much we love doing it. So we're almost doing it for ourselves and not you all. And it's not about selling the albums and the CDs. I mean, that's an
no,
extra plus to it. But just to get to speak a little personally with each person, it's a hoot. It makes
and
you feel
just
good at the end of it.
And just in case, anybody from Omnivore is chiming in, we realize one of the most important reasons for having that meet and greet is to sell those CDs. So
That's true.
we want Omnivore to know that we're championing that. We put them
Yes.
all out there, and it's just great. We're gonna have another one. We're gonna have the acapella one eventually, people. So
I do want to tell everybody about the omnivore thing. So every week, usually on a Tuesday, unless something's happening, we get a report from Omnivore
yeah,
as far as what's selling. And so now what we have global, we have Rhythm of the World, we have Cocaine Drain. Okay, those are the three guys out there. And hey, they're not selling a million copies or even $1
at
million or
all,
even 10,000 or even 5,000. But I do want to say this on this report, all those three albums are there and it says digital, the CD, the albums, it shows us what we sell. And so since Rhythm of the World was out, that's got to be 3 or 4 years ago now. We've only come up with a zero one time. And
yeah,
and other than that, there's always been seven, five, or
yeah.
something sold. And it's been ongoing. And so I think that's a trip in and of itself that we're not zeroed out on all of these things. So
Oh,
so
I agree. It's like it's this. People, it's like we know the level that big things are at. We're not anywhere near it. But
right.
I call it the never zero report because Brad
Yeah.
takes us through each item each piece of product we have. So right now we're up to 3 or 4, and it's
Right.
never zero. And it's so funny to watch men in their 70s get excited because we sold like 14 units this
Yeah.
week. You know,
We broke
14,
into
we
double
hit
digits.
double digits. We hit double digits this week because no, and the reason I get excited too is because I sit around thinking, going, wow, 14 people just spontaneously got on a computer and ordered our music and are
Crazy.
listening to it and putting it into the universe. And
Crazy.
it's still a big deal to me,
Yeah.
at any
Abs-
level. I agree.
right.
And then I thought, if this thing came through every single week with nothing but zeros, I'm sure I'd start feeling like a big nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I
no.
said, this is not a good report for me to see every week. But
Right.
there's always some sales, man. Always. So
Crazy.
you
Crazy.
people keep it up. And even
Yeah, we
you,
love you for it. We love
yeah,
you for it.
and you empathizers who hear us today and go, by golly, I'm going to buy a CD a month from these guys, and that's
Yeah.
fine. That we don't mind that. All right, so we're coming back from Madras, Oregon,
Yep.
uh, on April the 12th, and now we have our insane May heading out to Biloxi May 22nd, do the first Happy Together tour May 23rd, go to May 24th to the Beetle Festival, Abbey Road on the River in Jeffersonville, Indiana, get a morning flight out there, get picked up, get there just in time to do our 6 o'clock show, get back on an airplane, get to Jacksonville, Florida for the next show of the Happy Together tour 20 on the 26th, and rejoin the tour for the rest of the summer. That is going to take us through September, we guess, or through August, I mean, and maybe early September. We're hearing about maybe a big break in the middle, maybe 2 breaks still. We don't know.
But we are coming back. I see it written. The Pacific Amphitheater is on our schedule. So
Is
we
it?
are going, huh?
Is it?
It is.
Okay, that's it. Then we're going.
I
All
looked at
right.
it online. They've got quite a few, very many June shows. They've got quite a few of
Mm-hmm.
those. Not so many August, but you can tell they're filling that in. And then July, it seems to me that if you can look it up too, Bob. But if you take that, we usually stop at the Orange County Fair and then go home for that
Yeah,
break
yeah,
of the
right.
July thing. So, and then I see August. So, Susan says that it's like 2 or 3 weeks off. That's what
Uh,
Susan says.
I
But
think in totality, I'm seeing that you can't cut out California. I mean, I know it's
no,
not the Midwest and the East Coast, but it is.
right.
There's some big nights in California, and
Yeah,
plus,
but Pacific Amphitheater is the only one so far on the West Coast that is being advertised.
okay, not Humphreys yet.
No,
Okay, but
not yet.
Pacific Amphitheater, that's the anchor, man. That's the big gig.
Yeah, that's a
You know,
fun place,
yeah,
man.
that's a pretty cool place. All right, so we're
And
going
it's
to
kind of
have that.
cool we missed it. I think it's going to help us, having missed a year there. The people loved that and they were really upset and they'll be there
It was the one of the biggest nights on the tour
always.
across
It's
the board.
incredible.
It
Yeah.
had the best. Usually, it had the best weather. There was a heat wave one time, but the best
Yeah.
crowd, the best atmosphere, the best catering.
Yeah.
Everyone's in on the catering, the staff, the Happy Together people, everyone who works
It's
there. We're all in
incredible.
it,
And the
all in it
production is
together.
is huge there.
Huge.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
production is great.
it got weird after COVID and never got better, but everyone got used to that. You just got to take the hit, and
Yeah.
that's how that goes. So
Yeah.
so we come home September, whatever, maybe the 4th, and we go out right away for 4 days. September 17th, we're the trio show in Arlington, Texas again. We had such a good time there, and we're going
Oh, it was
back and forth.
awesome.
Yep. And then the 19th and 20th, again, the trio, but with the band and other groups. Okay. So the 19th and 20th, on the 19th, where are we on the 19th? Oh, we're in at the Gone Shrine Club in Cumberland, Maryland. Can you believe that, Paul? So that's with Glenn and the band and the other groups. And then the very next day on the 20th, September 20th, we're at the Robinson Grand Performing Arts in Clarksburg, West Virginia on 9/20. And then on 9/22, we are back up into Connecticut uh, at the Cape in Old Saybrook, Connecticut on the 22nd. And then that's it until we have September. We have December 10th in Tomball, Texas again. We've already
Yeah, I got
wrapped
that.
that up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we have the Flower Power Cruise, March 20th through 27th, 2027. And that's it, folks. We gave you all of our gigs.
Those are all the gigs. But to harken back to the Happy Together tour,
Yes.
for those of you who don't know, and I imagine everybody who's interested in that tour knows by now because it's pretty well publicized, but we're going out with 8 people. And Bob, on the cruise is going to be the Blood, Sweat, and Tears guy, Chef, Brian Chef.
Yeah, Jason Sheff, who's coming out as Chicago with us,
Yes.
is Blood, Sweat, and Tearing on the Flower Power Cruise as their
Gotcha.
lead singer.
Yes.
So that's
So,
pretty because look, I mean, look at Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Look at those two bands. You got to have a David Clayton Thomas. You got to have a big lead singer, and
yeah.
there aren't that many around. And he's double dipping on two of the big ones.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
incredible. You made me so very
It's going to
happy.
be great.
I mean, we can
And
all do that guy.
yeah. And you just go online and put Happy Together Tour 2026 schedule, and
Yeah,
you'll get as much as they've already got.
it's
And
filling
then
in. Yeah.
It's filling in, and also you can see the lineup because we have the Fortunes are coming out, the Trogs are coming out, and then Chef is coming out, and so that's three brand new bands that you've never seen on the Happy Together tour.
So we're gonna say Cowsills, Vogues, I'm trying to figure out associate. No,
It's going to be, I think it'll be the Fortunes.
okay, Council Vogue's Fortunes, and then Association Chef. No, no, Dante.
Association of the Top Bill.
Okay, Dante, uh, Chef,
Oh, no, Chef Association Dante.
Chef
Hang on.
Association Dante, and then all of us come out and sing the song "Happy Together"
You
somehow.
would think. Yeah.
Hey, can you imagine that we're all walking around the stage like the Christmas show we did? You, me, and
Oh,
Susan walking around. Imagine me and
I
you.
love it.
I
Yeah.
do. I think about today and night. It's only right. And then the folks
It's
come
going to be
out.
hard not to do that.
It's going to be
Mm.
funny. Then the folks come out to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. And then the six of us so happy together. And then the fortunes come out. Imagine me. I don't know. Okay.
The openers are the Cowsills, then the Vogues, then Ron Dante and the Archies and the Turtles of the Archies and of the Turtles.
Okay.
Okay, then a break. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it'll be Ron Dante, then the Fortunes, break, then Gary Puckett, then Jason Chef, then the Trogs, and then the association to wrap the whole show up.
You're kidding.
I am not kidding.
And it's posted as the order of the show.
Always,
Hey,
always.
I think Ron Dante covers turtle songs in his set. He will do some turtle songs in his set.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
because this is
And
the
who knows, we might sing with Ron or Susan might sing with Ron. There's a lot of different things that can happen easily.
they're playing with it. They're
Yep.
playing with
Yep.
it. It could be good.
Guys, it's going to be 8 bands. Okay. So here's what I want to say to you. And we love you dearly out there. And we want you to keep loving us and loving the Happy Together tour. And most everybody does. I would say 98% of the people are happy coming away. But we have 8 groups now. Now you're going to be hearing top 5 songs because we're all going to have to give up a song because the time hasn't gotten any longer. Just the artist list has gotten longer. So,
Yeah,
so be prepared a bit that, if your favorite is Gary Puckett and he only does 3 songs, know that the company's just trying to get more songs out to you, and keep the stalwart people going, to keep the tour up and running. And so they're really trying hard. But I'm going to tell you, you're not going to be excited, crazy, happy. Perhaps if your band that you love is not doing, your favorite song because they cut it out and you heard it last year. But just a heads up.
I agree. And think about our side. If and they did, they're basically coming to us and saying, people, would you give up one of your 5 songs or go down to 3 so we can get 3 Chicago songs into the show? Absolutely.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So we all give up maybe one of our lesser hits or maybe one that in some of our groups, some you don't even know they had another hit, so we fill in with something else. I can give you
Right.
examples,
Right.
but we don't have to go there. But sure, we give up a song so we can have 3 from the Fortunes, 3 from the Targs, and 3 from Chicago. That adds to the variety of the show. Everybody,
Yes. Yes.
rather
I'm
than
getting excited just
me
hearing you say
too.
it, Bob.
It sounds good.
Honestly.
I think it'll be okay,
Yeah.
and it's going to be
Yep.
rapid fire. Get used to that. It's going to be boom, boom, boom. Where'd they go? I don't know, but the
Yep.
Vogues are here. Okay, boom,
Yep.
boom, boom. Wow, wait, what happened? Who went?
Yeah.
How many
And
things have
guys,
been? It's crazy.
yeah. And Gary Puckett's coming back, you guys. I just want to tell you a little something about Gary.
Young.
So at the beginning of the last Happy Together tour, okay, Gary wanted to go in ears. He had talked to a bunch of people about it, and a lot of people were saying,
Monitors.
"Look, this could help you," because he was maybe missing a little flat, little pitchy, maybe. But man, as soon as he got those in ears going, all of a sudden he's like right in key and he's singing and he's actually hearing it so well that he's able to change a little bit of his melody line, or
Yeah.
rephrase a few things here that might make it, but man, he is singing like crazy. So all you Gary Puckett fans know that you're going to be here and you're going to hear him better than you've ever heard him.
And now Paul just gave you kind of the reason why, but you will start reading things like in the reviews, you'll start reading lines like, "Wow, what got into Gary Puckett?" Right. It's like, "Hey, whoa, Gary
Yes.
Puckett. He's just like, I don't know if he's taking the blue pill for voices
Yeah.
or what's going on with him,
Right.
because it is a radical difference, and
Yeah.
and it's just so good, and you can tell that he's enjoying hearing his voice in context with the band and
Yes.
what this sounds
Yes.
like out there. I
He's
love
having
it
so
too.
much, and he's having so much fun, and that only transfers to everybody in the audience.
Yeah,
He does that anyway, but when he's
yeah,
really feeling great, he really can do it. He can really
I
do it.
agree. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
great
going to be
stuff.
good. Well, this will be great. So that's going to be a good show. All right, we're going to do it.
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
everybody.
Hey,
I think
I did want to say one last
yeah.
thing. If we got a couple of minutes, just
Oh,
so
I'm
me
going to
and
talk about
Luann.
a radio show anyway. Go ahead.
Okay, so me and Luann, we took off. We just got home today, so I could get to the electrophysiologist. But we drove up to Northern California, and we went to Walnut Creek, which is like by Sacramento and San Francisco, that whole area. And it was Luann, my wife's niece's daughter Stella's birthday, and she was 1 year old. And so we took off and we said, heck, we looked to fly up there. It was going to cost like $1,000 and we were going
Yeah.
to have to drop 3 times.
Oh
Get
my
on the
God.
plane, get off, get on, get off, get on, get off. And it's like, God, we can be there by then, it's an 8 hour drive. So we took off and, we left Central Oregon and man, it was like 20 degrees. And me and Louie had our everything on and we're all bundled up and we go to get gas in Redding, California. And we opened the door and it was like 80 degrees.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
and there we are all wintered up and people
Yeah.
driving up. I saw a guy in shorts. I go, look at Louis, look at that guy in shorts. What's on his mind? And then it was so hot. But in Walnut Creek, we went to dinner at this crazy place. It was called the Canyon Club, and it was a restaurant, and they had a great pub. It was called the Canyon Club Pub or something like that. And we went there, and I'm telling you, there had to have been 30 kids, because all these young people, and just like Hannah, she had her baby there, and she had a lot of friends her same age that are all having babies. Okay, but all this one place, there had to be 100 kids just running around. Their parents are sitting there having dinner and having a beer, and all these kids are running around. And I was thinking, wow, look at this. This is great. And so then I was just waiting for the crew to come before we could get our table. And I was reading this placard on the where the cashier, where the hostess gets you going, right? And it said, we ask you follow these simple requests to help each guest have the best experience, blah, blah, blah. And here it is. Rule 1, treat everyone with respect. Rule 2, keep your dog on a leash at all times, because there were a lot of dogs there as well. Number 3 is keep your children close to your table, which was not happening. Okay. And then number 4 was any children unsupervised will be given unlimited amounts of root beer and a puppy to take home.
All
I mean,
right.
the puppy thing, yeah. And so I read that and it just cracked me up because the puppy thing is, if you tell a kid he's getting a puppy and then the puppy doesn't come, man, there's trouble in River City
Oh,
there.
oh
Yeah. So I thought it was interesting. And then
uh,
there were kids running around everywhere. And every time one kid tripped over me or was like bounced into me, I went, hey, you're getting a puppy. Hey, you're getting a puppy all
that's
night.
your new your new version of you're getting a new car.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Um,
So I had to say
last,
that.
last thing I want to bring up, we do need to promote and tell you about our radio show, the Cowsill Chronicles, 97.9 The River. Mike Kurtner is keeping that thing going. And by the way,
He
thank you,
is.
Rock Positano, executive producer of this podcast, is keeping
Yes.
this going. Thank you. Thank you to
Yep.
Omnivore. Look, I feel like we got an award. And thank you to
Yeah.
Omnivore. And
I can't believe we're attached to this many important people.
That's hilarious. But listen, tune into the radio show. It's based on the podcast. like if you go, I won't use Pat Boone as an example, but if you listen to the Pat Boone episode, what Mike does, it takes the Pat Boone episode, gets the good nuggets out of it, but goes a little deeper into Pat Boone and his music and himself. And that's what
Yeah.
these episodes do every week.
Yeah.
So,
And Mike is the DJ, the disc jockey, and he's keeping
oh,
radio alive. I
he
love him
is,
for that. I love
he's,
him just for that, man. You can buy
yeah.
pins on his website and hats and all sorts of stuff.
And he
I
loves
think
baseball. He's a Pete
oh,
Rose guy. He's a Marshall baseball, Marshall football
Marshall
guy,
football.
and
Yeah.
he's the voice of some of those teams. So it's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
so we're up to a lot still, guys. We are still going strong. Swear to God.
We
Thank
are.
you, everyone out there. And
Yeah.
we still have music coming out. We're gonna have our a cappella album coming out next year.
Yes.
We just
Yeah.
have got to figure out a way to put it.
Perhaps a Christmas album, some in a year or so beyond that. Who
You
knows?
know, we need to record the Christmas album so we can have Sklar play bass
Yes.
on it. Leland,
Yeah.
he said he would. He reminds me of
He
Leland
did say he
Sklar.
would.
One of his last projects was the Cowsills Christmas album. I love that.
Man, that guy was so cool. I mean,
Yeah,
God.
he was really a nice
And
man.
what made him so cool, everybody out there, is that, I mean, his history is insane and all he's done, but he is just a regular cat. I mean, he's literally like us in a funny
Yeah,
way. He's just kind of off everything, everything's groovy and
yeah,
yeah, it's a trip.
it's cool. It rolls off him. I agree.
Leland is great.
All right, everybody,
Uh,
have a good evening.
okay, guys,
Enjoy everything and everybody and all that goes
peace
along
out.
with that. Peace
Peace
out.
out. Go to all our shows. Buy a ticket.